What's going on, guys? My name is Ryan McNeil and I got another cool video for you today. This is one of my favorite pictures and I can't wait to explain it to you. But first, a couple tips on how you can be a better artist. So a good artist is known as someone who's always thinking outside the box. You gotta be free-spirited if you're gonna be a good artist. When you see things out in the real world, you gotta think abstractly about it. You gotta think like, how could that be better? Why is it the way it is? Questions like that help fuel the creative spirit. And being a creative spirit means that you question a lot of things and you look for answers all the time. When I made this picture, I was out working and I really made it to be a twin of my original space picture. So it's actually made the exact same size and uses the same frame as well. I wanted to go with a similar color palette, but also wanted to push the limit of the skills that I had developed since the time between the space picture and this one, because there's actually several years in between. So this is a perfect example of one of my pictures that has about half acrylic paint and half marker. Naturally, I draw it in Sharpie and then I color it in afterwards. Usually when I'm gonna color it, I'll wake up and I know that day. I just get up and I go straight to it, and that's usually one of the big inhibitors for me to actually sit down and paint, because I don't want to make a big mess. But on this particular day, I woke up and I completed this painting, and I want to explain it to you because not many people have seen this one. If you know me, most of you probably don't, but those of you who do know that I did have dreadlocks for several years, and this is a painting that was made while I had that. You can see the image of myself in the center, and the bottom is actually a depiction with ski goggles on, a mask on, and dreadlocks. This is kind of a post-apocalyptic viewpoint on the world. Just like in the space painting, how the monster was way out in space and saw that the Earth is in distress, this is a picture that shows that he's actually here on Earth and the city is on fire, the Earth is on fire. But you can see that as he's pointing, his power comes out in a red energy and then turns into blue, turns into the water that actually puts out the fire. And this is just something that I wanted to show. It's a hidden meaning that shows that the world's in distress, but God has the power to put out the flames and make everything feel good. You see the monster's got a very aggressive face on this, and it was just something I was testing out, and I actually turned out not liking it as much as I thought I would. There's just too much teeth and too much fire, but it is what it is. You live and you learn, and this picture turned out way more aggressive than it should. One of the things that I pride myself on this drawing is that I did paint the Earth, and it is geographically correct to the best of my ability. Now, keep in mind that I am freehanding the Earth, so it's not going to be perfect, but I do like to make sure that continents, states, countries, and shapes are in the right place. So if you look closely, you'll notice that there's somewhat of a resemblance of the actual Earth. The monster is actually pointing to the United States, showing that this is where this is taking place. A lot of people know what's going on in the world today, and it's just a lot of chaos, especially in the States. We kind of lead the world in drama, so you can tell that that's where the fire starts, and that's where we need help a lot. And me personally living in the States, this is obviously my perspective, so all of you around the world, I know you have different perspectives, but this is mine and that's how I painted it, so can't change it now. You'll notice right away that the 3 stars are very prominent, and you know that the 3 stars is how I subliminally tag my art. So if you look here, you can see them located here, here, and here. They're wrapped around the painting, hidden in behind, and I love this because it just pushes my technique to put them in and around things in the drawing. And a lot of times they're drawn after the fact. I might even forget a lot of times, and so then I have to go back and I put them behind stuff and in things, and that's just how I like to do it. If you noticed it before I explained it, I think that's awesome, and I'd love to hear about it in the comments, so just let me know if you found the pictures. It's kind of obvious, but hey, more power to you. So this is also one of the first pictures that I drew cityscapes in, and you can see that they're in black and brown and they're layered at the bottom. And this shows depth, and it also shows the warmth of the fire, so it kind of makes it look like it's cooking. And I think that's really cool. And also above the flames you see the water, and there's just a lot of different organic shapes in there. So I like to put the points with the round shapes, and it just makes for a really good art. It makes for a really good abstract popping image. So if you notice that, it's very cool, and it's one of the things I like most about this picture in general. Also, if you've seen the space video, you know this includes one of my favorite color waves, the blue, orange, green, and yellow. And it's repped in behind, and like I said, this is meant to be a twin or a sister picture to the space image, so I couldn't complete it without throwing that in there. Another subtle detail of this is that the dreadlocks actually turn into a tree trunk, and there's a family of owls again in there, and this goes back to looking like a sister picture for the space image. I think it looks great, and you can tell that the skill in drawing has increased a lot, and that was one thing that I wanted to showcase in this art, because it did take several years after the original, and I did feel like I've gotten a lot better with the way that I layer my markers, and then with the addition of paint, it has a lot of pop to it that wouldn't normally have been there. If you can't tell already, the blue monster is made of paint, and the red color waves are also paint, as well as the red in the mask is paint. So if you see the contrast between the two, you can tell one's marker and one's paint, and that just gives it that extra pop. And that's one of the biggest goals of pop art or abstract art, is to make sure it really jumps off the page and jumps off the canvas. This is one of my favorites. It shows some great skill and great technique, and if you're taking notes or if you're looking into it, you want to ask me questions about how I do some of these things, please reach out. I'll be more than happy to explain some of the techniques and teach you and show you anything you might want to learn about how I make my art or how you can make your own better. Also, you'll notice in the bottom right corner is the RAM tag, RAM, my initials. That goes for the gift that I was born with, and it's not tagged TK. Even though it's got a lot of good and evil undertones, it's still something that's core to me and who I am, and so that's why the RAM is thrown up there. I don't know if you guys can tell that I'm doing a little bit better. I would love to know in the comment section if I'm doing okay or what I could improve in my videos. I could explore with some different backgrounds or some different angles. I could show you my hallway that has all my art hung in it. There's a lot of things I could do that I would love to do if you just ask. Give me some feedback on how the videos are turning out and what you think about them, and I would love to make some improvements. And so without wasting any more of your time, I just want to thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and there's going to be more videos coming out this way. There'll be more videos coming out about this series, about how to be a better artist, and then self-explaining some of my art and showing you some close-ups as well. So again, I really appreciate you for watching, and my name is Ryan McNeil, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.